Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Riven. So we're back to the launcher because the game crashed. It's a shame that there isn't a combination of either of the two engines that run this game that is completely bug free. However, we saved, so we have no real problem there. I suppose if I find any more of those balls that make sound, I could hit F5 and save and try and make photos of those save points. It's unlikely that there are 10 more of those. So here's the deal. In that top tower on the top of the screen, you're supposed to be seeing a person there. Now, at a lower resolution, you still really can't see him. But at a higher resolution, you definitely can't see him. It's just this little black blob. But you did see it at the very least that this spun an alarm. So we've alarmed people by our presence. This area is where we should go before we go anywhere else. So we kind of just took a shortcut. How anybody even gets up there is an interesting question. I guess maybe they have a ladder that they pull up after themselves. So there's this little cave, not so much a cave as it is, I guess you'd say it's a heavily forested area. We have one way that goes one way, and we have one way that goes another way, and we're kind of into a maze. So let's just go forward. There's actually not as much here as you would think. Just some music playing, and here we have more of those fish god creatures, which one assumes that there might have actually been some fish god creatures in this world, and then some kind of bioluminescent water. There must be something more I need to do with this later, or it is just a full-on dead end. And when you look this way, that's how you do it. Secrets, secret passages. So you light or flip a switch, whatever I just did, and it brings you into another one of these blue buttons. And anytime you see any of these contraptions, you know this is again the bad guy still pretending to be a god, subjugating the locals, which I suppose no real surprise there is as to why the locals would be scared of you. Now you can't turn around until you walk out, so there's nothing really to this. We had a tree ladder in the previous game, so, and we had a higher section of the trees in the previous game, MYST. So this really just feels like the greatest hits, or every idea being redone over and over again. So apparently I'm supposed to catch this at a certain point, I think, and line this up. Well, apparently whatever I did, just by clicking it a bunch of times, that worked. If all else fails, click it multiple times, and that opens up a dome section. which, with the exception of the sounds in the sound puzzle, which a lot of these sounds aren't going to matter, there's not a lot happening. And this is kind of a small area. Let's see. This is going to be a nightmare without the solution. But there's a book in here. So is this my trap book? Ugh. Yeah, so without the combination, there's no way you're gonna get that free. But I did find my book. That says something. And here's the tower that we were at before. And here's a ball that you can't click on because the screen just wants to turn that direction. So let's see if we walk this way. No, there's nothing to do with those balls. And can't go that way. Can't look up, can't look down. I would really like to be able to look up in every position. I was in, I can see how you could get into this watchtower now. But see, it seems like you should be able just to walk to this watchtower and see what's in it, but you can't. So all you can really do is open this door. More door opening animations. And you've got the horns and you've got like a jaw of something. Very animalistic. And one of these, you're never really going to be in a scenario where one of these kills you and the others like saves your life. Another machine, perhaps to give him a view over the city, which we haven't even seen yet, so he can look around and watch his enslaved citizens. And let's see, or it is to control this machine. Let's see what this does. It closes that. So perhaps they put prisoners on this and then he decides to throw them into the ocean. Or something like that. Let's go ahead. The city plays a pretty big part of the game. Let's see. I'm going back down. If the Miller brothers, the people who run Cyan, were better story writers, they actually have an interesting story about how Gin, however you pronounce his name, how the bad guy that we haven't even seen yet and kind of won't see at all till the end, how he's always just like lording above people and not interacting with people or being a part of a society. He's always got to be the god. He can't just be the friend, the family member. Yeah, and there's really nothing else here right now. So double clicking, moving a little bit faster, moving above the animations. I doubt there's kind of any trick or anything from this. Like it doesn't seem like there's a way to turn around and send the thing forward and like hit the switch and somehow leave this area, so you would have to hit this switch. But I imagine that's why that switch is there, is just in case you somehow did do that. I have no clue how you'd pull that off though. And you have a little girl. So yeah, they try to put some life into this game. Should I chase after the little girl? I guess it's our only opportunity to do that. And that brings us back to this. Sadly, all they can really afford is to have animations that are like this, that point you towards where you're supposed to go, and kind of nothing else. Is more sound effects and more of the sword symbols. Maybe these sword symbols are supposed to be some remnant of the deny. Maybe they were supposed to be a symbol of Gin. Let's see, I want to even like look here. Let's see if somewhere here, Catherine. Is that Gin? G-E-H-N? I'm thinking that's his name. It's sort of a non-shortcut this path. I suppose what they had originally intended is for you to have to enter through this door and then unlock the path previously. But they didn't implement that. Like, so the long way is through that door. The short way is just to totally ignore that path and go here and end up right there. So clearly there needed to be a door right in this archway that was locked on one side. And it just didn't happen. More reason why I feel like a remastered better suit a game like Riven. New puzzles, different puzzles, less relying on the same concept of audio puzzles. You could certainly have an audio puzzle, but you needed a secondary solution. Yeah. Let's see. Interesting. Like, I just saw when I was standing here and walked here, like, you clearly see a humanoid shape drawn on the wall. When I click here, I don't see it. When I click forward and then click right, I can just like barely see it. And remember, this game doesn't have any contrast or anything. It's all supposed to be done. Let's see. Here we have just a way looking out. So maybe this section is supposed to point you towards this. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's doing much. And notice I just clicked like 3 steps and did not even care to look, because it just is a boring hallway. And since this is clicking per scene, bringing it to a modern game where you would be just pressing forward on the left stick to move forward, or the right stick. I believe in the top left there you can see a little bit of movement. Some of these cutscenes don't run on the the main engine. And then there's some movement now on the bridge down lower. The parents are grabbing the kids and running away. They are terrified of strangers. And in a weird way, that's kind of all you ever see of these people that you're supposed to be helping, and you know you're supposed to be helping if you read the book. But they're terrified of you. They don't speak your language, which for some reason is English in the island of MYST and Dunny and all of that, but not English for these people. Perhaps because Gen is teaching them a different language, or they had their own language to start off with to keep them subjugated. Of course, you have to really, really imply a lot because you don't see it. There's no really nefarious section here where you find the slave cages and you find people chained up and you find poor starved people. There's a bridge here we need to lower. And when you play Cyan's most recent game, Abduction, the reason that there's less people around in that game is even worse than in this game. It does not work well. So this is a kind of magically held back, maybe it's supposed to be a glass tube to get on a submarine vehicle that's not there right now. And since Cyan made Abduction, they really hired new people because the Miller brothers didn't know how to program games. They made the original MYST game using a Macintosh PowerPoint presentation software, basically. And so they certainly could have gotten more help from Ubisoft through the years to learn the program, and they certainly could have hired and maintained more of a staff to use a modern engine like Unreal or Unity. Like, Unreal Engine totally makes sense for this. Unity, not so much, but it still probably would run just fine on this. Any other modern engine would run pretty well in trying to run a game similar to this. Plus, if they were using like the Unity Asset Store or the Unreal Asset Store, you can then purchase content from people who have already animated ladders and buildings. Let's see. I thought a cutscene triggered here, but I guess it didn't. And they live in these adobe round buildings, which I don't know why it would be easier to make round buildings than square buildings, but that probably didn't matter. So, can we go into the start? 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting, I did 5. So you can just see a little face there. So they like the number 5. They have a 5-pointed star. But most people would not have recognized that that was a solution to a puzzle, and that really mattered a lot right there. That just knocking on the door was something you were supposed to resolve and learn about. There's our submarine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see, they won't do it again. Well, they will do it, but I guess they're just not going to open the door for you or say anything to you. So you kind of have to assume that these people have been terrified and told not to speak to strangers under penalty of major threats, whether it's death or prosecution, thrown in jail, who knows. Here's a switch, so let's hit that switch and lower that submarine down to the tracks. I could, of course, bring it back up if I felt the need to, but I don't think I need to. There's no mini game built around. And see, apparently there's something cooking on the oven. Like, no mini game built around fixing the vehicle, which you generally expect. There's a drum and more altered type drum things, and then another altar. So it seems like it's a animal worshipping society that worships some animals that honestly there's really not enough land in this game for there to be that many different types of creatures wandering around. And see, we just heard a baby cry. And they have some kind of bridges that they pulled inward, so you can't go to the rest of this, and I don't believe you ever actually do go to the rest of that section of the city. So clearly in this age of early age of video games on PC, a lot of implication of a much bigger world while keeping you very much limited to simplistic scenes. When you go with like a 2D point and click adventure game, you succeed, I think, a little bit better than this game would, just on the fact that you're not really having to deal with so much reality. You can put more detail and more interactive objects on one scene, where all of this is either hand painted or like photographed and photo referenced. A lot of animation was put into this, more than you would probably need to make. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I did need to do something here. Maybe I can jump into the submarine and then lower myself. Let's see. That doesn't do anything. This doesn't do anything. Can we push a button to close the lid? This doesn't work. This doesn't work. And it's not like you have to drag, even though I am trying to drag it just from modern sensibilities. So here's an idea. Nope. As soon as you leave the area, it also is locked down. It's funny as I've missed something, because I've mostly seen all of the game now. There's definitely some scenes to see, for sure, but notice when you turn here, it's just up or down. Yeah. I could go back and try and control things. There's nothing to click on here. I could go back to the main island, but I know the main island isn't connected here. Somewhere around here is also a classroom that I think it might be right there. And this is nice calm water, so why you can't just jump in the water is a little bit confusing to me also. Let's see. They really needed it to be some kind of toxic water, something poisonous, or that showed itself to be dangerous. Piranha fish, whatever it takes to really make it certain that you can't just swim. So we're back up here, and over here we really ran into nothing. Over here really is nothing. Although I think there might be something later on. See, the weird thing is we've just like not talked to anybody, we've not learned anything. A modern video game developer would say, sure, we can have a game that plays like this, but we really need a character that's talking to themselves, that's figuring things out, that's telling the dumbest of the dumb players, and frankly that includes me, that this is why we're doing this and this is why this matters. So here's the thought. Can I hit F5 when this is... Yes. So F5 can't save while in the cutscene. So we found two of them, and you could potentially save in front of all of these. Fortunately, the Scum virtual machine allows you up to 1,000 save files. In fact, I probably, just for fairness sake, should put it down something like at 15. That way I just know where it is. But finding that little element right now doesn't help. I'll just click on this multiple times and see if this does anything. Holding down the button doesn't do anything either. There we go. We'll go and save that one there. And then we can go back here and we could switch back to the main island. Which I guess we'll try. I mean, we might as well just stay on our toes until I'm ready to give up completely and start following a walkthrough directly. So, based on my rough memories, I would say I would be surprised if there's more than 40 scenes that we haven't seen in the game so far. Now, there might be some interactions and tricks that happen, but there really isn't too much more to this island. It's kept kind of small, and I guess that's sort of a good thing. Like, you don't want the island to be the worst case scenario where you're full of random things, or the island is just huge and you can't find anything. This door is closed, so when we open it, we get to see a cutscene that we hadn't seen before, which there's again. So the question is Gin looking at you through the chair, or is that just a pre-recording of Gin? And then we've got to go this way and this way to open the secret passage, which I guess it's not that secret of a secret passage, it's just kind of hidden. Maybe that's the slight difference between a secret passage and a hidden passage. And see, he's not there. So, hologram technology. Our vehicle is there. So that's how you could see that. And the door is open. There's no real reason, I think, ever to actually close it. Interesting. I just had a thought. Now, in the hologram recorder of the previous game, there was a way to erase things by holding down the button. I am not sure if that's the case here. So if I hold down the switch, like, I'm gonna click it and press a button and it's gonna move forward. So, unless there was some reason to do it 5 times in a row, I don't think that's the right move. And unless something changed over here when we set off the alarm, which it's possible something changed over here when we set off the alarm, everything should be the same. This pipe is coming, who knows where that pipe is coming from actually. Let's see. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see. 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 2, 1, 3. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna brute force this. Like, no triggering here is happening. No, nothing's locking in, so it's giving no feedback to. Like, if it was supposed to be giving any feedback. And of course we can't see anything. And I don't even believe that there actually is a sound ball, for lack of a better term to call them, on this island. This island is so separate from the rest of it, and then it's kind of not even for a good reason. There must be something more I missed, because we've seen the number 5, and that's kind of all I've... Oh, I know what to do. Come to think of it, I need to, if I'm recalling correctly now, I need to get the gate blocked like this. So this doesn't fully make sense yet. We need it like this so that we can come back and around and find a lever. We didn't come, we only kind of, you know, sort of 20% solve this puzzle. So there's no lever here. So it needs one more spin. I don't like the solution to getting under that door. It's just too different from all the other solutions to all the other puzzles. It's a very physical based solution that you just don't expect to have happen or to be correct. And so it's just out of tone with the rest of the puzzles. And if it was going to be a solution like based on that, let's see. Hey, well, we've got a couple new pathways that we can go to. Alright. Steam pipe is leading steam away from the telescope. So we've solved one of the parts. Let's see now. And I believe that just opened the gate. And I believe this will now rotate it in such a way that we can peek through here, and we can't see anything. That was useless. Let's just keep rotating. Oh, we're slowly making progress. Honestly, it does kind of feel like there's only about 5 puzzles. Like, they're complicated, crazy puzzles, certainly, but it sort of does feel like there's only 5 of them in the whole game. We've got a door. And that didn't open that door. Nor did it really change anything. So let's spin this and see what happens. Those two switches may interconnect and do the same thing. Maybe, maybe not. Can't see anything from where I am. This feels very similar to the library, which the library in MYST was kind of the... It was a very necessary and helpful section because it told you where all the other puzzles were on MYST Island, but it also runs into just being too on the nose and too much like a video game. Let's just hope this works. Otherwise, we may have to go in a complete full circle. This spin right now, actually, I think would have none of the passages open, and that there would be no way to actually be in this room in that instance. So many door transition animations. We did it, and I'm not sure I ever need to solve this puzzle again. Let's see, before we go that direction though, let's go back this way. Yeah, it seems like those two switches. So now we've got the pipes flowing with gas. So now when I look in here, I still don't see anything. And when I hit this, I still don't see anything. And when I hit this, I still don't see anything. So I still need the combination. Interesting. There's a little button here. So maybe I can just use the hydraulic powers to just hit the ground and break it. One more time. And see, right now I couldn't open it even if I wanted to. Still can't see anything until you open this lid. This weird telescope device. Well, at least we know. But we still need some kind of code. And you'd almost expect that in a modern video game you would have you'd find the code on a piece of paper and have it at the very least written down, instead of having to memorize it. But in this game it is definitely going to be a memorization task. Well, at the very least we can go into this area and see how far we can move forward on this puzzle. So it's one more puzzle that can be done, which is good. But also, in all fairness, we are getting one step closer towards needing to use a walkthrough. I'm exhausting some of my ideas, and there's at least 2 combination locks that we've run into that we don't know the combination to. There's a submarine puzzle that we don't know how to get in the submarine. There's a fish trap that we don't know how to get fish into. And as we have hit about, I'd say 87% of all of the island, we're not seeing a lot of books, we're not seeing a lot of hints, not seeing any real pathing. This game is built, I suppose, directly against the idea of having a path where point A is designed to go to point B, which is designed to send you to point C. Instead, it's just this randomness where you just wander around and try and find the solution. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. If you want to support me, give me a game on Steam. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.